Uyen xin trân trọng kính chào quý vị khán thính giả. Kính thưa quý vị, vào mấy tuần trước thì chúng tôi có cơ hội gửi đến cho quý vị một cái cuộc phỏng vấn chỉ được có một phần mà thôi. Đó là cuộc phỏng vấn của To Uyen với các nam ca nhạc sĩ trong ban nhạc BACKSTREET BOYS. Thưa quý vị, ngày hôm nay thì chúng tôi xin được dành nguyên một nửa chương trình để mà gửi đến cho quý vị khán thính giả chọn cái cuộc phỏng vấn của chúng tôi đã thực hiện được với các ca sĩ này. BACKSTREET Boys Show Them What You Made Of là một bộ phim tài liệu trung thực và rất cảm động của nhóm nhạc nam bán chạy nhất trong mọi thời đại. Và phim này đã được đạo diễn bởi Stephen Kijak. Ông được biết đến qua những cuốn phim như là Stones in Exile, Scott Walker, 30th Century Man. Và với phần tham gia diễn xuất của những thành viên nguyên thủy như là Nick Carter, Howie Durrell, Brian Luttrell, AJ McLean và Kevin Richardson, và tất cả đều giữ cái công việc là sản xuất cho cái cuốn phim tài liệu mới này. Thưa quý vị, cuốn phim này được do hãng phim Gravitas đã lên lịch cho ngày phát hành tại các rạp hát ở vùng Bắc Mỹ cũng như là trên VOD vào ngày 30 tháng 1 vừa qua. Sau đây là cuộc phỏng vấn của To Uyen với Nick Carter, về Howie, với Brian, AJ và Kevin về cái cuốn phim tài liệu của họ. Thưa quý vị, xin được gửi đến quý vị cuộc phỏng vấn đặc biệt sau đây.
Some warehouse spaces out here in this industrial park, which we're going to try to... He was leasing them, that's right. Which we're going to try to see if we can manage to find. It's been many years ago, almost 20 years ago.
I think it was on this one.
I think it was on Michigan, guys.
I think it's this one. I think it's a little further.
No, right. All I know is I got lost coming here the first time. Almost didn't get in the group because of that. So maybe don't ask me.
God. I remember this area, though. I remember that church.
It is down on this road, I'm telling you.
Then we trust his memory and none of the old guys.
Yep,
this is it. Holy crap.
Wow. Is it?
It is.
You're down. 2642.
Yep. We were busting our fucking ass in this warehouse here, day in and day out, all day long.
There was like a wood stage that we put up. We had a bunch of mirrors. It was hot as hell.
It was a constant work in progress. We had to be worked on it.
We put in some crazy hours in the early days.
It's an honor getting to hang out with you guys a little bit. The BACKSTREET Boys was part of my music history when I first moved to this country, so definitely it's great. It's such a pleasure to sit here.
Where did you move from?
Vietnam.
Oh,
Yes,
wow. Nice.
in '84.
Nice.
When I was 10. So now it's 2015. So.
The fellas have been to Vietnam.
We went there.
and
Yeah.
performed.
You really?
Yeah, I wasn't with the group at
What
the
year
time,
was
but
that?
Yeah. 3 years ago?
Four.
Four?
Before the new
4
kids.
years ago.
No, so
yeah,
it was like five. Like
It was
5
amazing.
years.
Really?
It was such a cool experience.
Which cities did you guys went perform?
And
Shoot.
Ho Chi Minh.
Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah.
We call Saigon.
Saigon, yeah, Saigon.
Yeah.
And also, was it Lao?
Hanoi. Did you go to Hanoi?
Hanoi.
That's out in the north. Where were you, Kevin, when you didn't? why did
From
you-
06 to 06 to 2011, I took a hiatus.
And just
Took a break.
Okay, and so you didn't really
I was eating chips and
gain like 50 pounds?
To Lake Me.
just being a normal dude, mowing the lawn, taking my kid to daycare, stuff like
So
that.
that's the normal life for you gentlemen. What's the not normal life like?
Being on tour. Traveling the world.
Yeah.
Actually, for all of us, believe it or
But
not, all five
touring,
of us are...
touring has become
Yeah, it has become the norm. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's true as well.
so.
But now, actually, all five of us are married. 4 of us have kids.
Oh.
So back at home, the normal life is now taking care of kids, changing diapers,
That's
taking the
fun.
trash out,
That's exciting,
doing
right?
chores,
You have to go on tour to get some rest.
a honey-do list.
Take a break from your family. Good. Well, good to know. Yeah. So now, what is the inspiration that really bring you guys back together to make this new album? Because I got a chance to watch your latest video on Vimeo yesterday, and I really like the song a lot. So I'm sure it's a very hard process for you guys to start this.
It wasn't that hard. I mean, we were just recently on the, well, before this last tour, on the we did a collaboration with New Kids on the Block. It was called NKOTBSB, the four of us, and Kevin had been taking some time off. Right after that tour had ended, Kevin came back to the group and he said, hey, I think it's time. I really want to get back in the studio. I'm feeling passionate about it again. You know, we didn't have a record deal anymore. We were doing it by ourselves, and so there was a lot of things that just were kind of, you know, coming to light and to fruition at that moment. And so it just inspired him and inspired the group, and so we all just got together and started talking about music. And you know, that's really it was like kind of like riding a bike, just getting back on it again. And but really,
it wasn't hard at all, right?
It wasn't hard at all. It really wasn't. It was a lot easier than anticipated, I believe. You know, I mean, one of the things was with this documentary, you know, we, in a lot of ways, you'll be able to actually see how we rekindled our fire, you know, between one another, because that was the first time that we actually got back into the studio. And we started recording, and so we were discovering, you know, the five of us again, and not being four. So that's going to be really interesting to watch.
And which one of you guys consider the funniest guy, and which one of you guys consider like the toughest guy?
AJ's funny looking.
Oh, come on, Nick.
I am quite funny looking.
Yeah, and you accept that.
He's comfortable.
I'm a total goober. I don't even care. I love it. I'm a big kid.
What's a goober?
Yeah, what's a goober?
A goober is just a goofball. That's me. I'm a goofball.
Oh, okay.
I dress funny. I look funny, but I smell great.
And you sing great, right? Your voice is beautiful.
I thank you.
Yes, he's
Yeah.
the singer in the group.
I try. Thanks. The toughest?
It's probably me, but
I
mean, it would definitely have to be me. But
yeah, I think we're all tough when we need to be. I think we're all sensitive when we need to be. I think we're all goofballs, sometimes not at the right time. But we're like family. We're like brothers. You know, I mean, there's almost a 10-year gap between Nick and Kevin's age, and yet we still.
You look 30 and you look 20 to me.
Yeah,
Nick, I mean, you look 25 and you look 35, so.
I like the 20.
So wait,
Yeah.
if he looks
Well, here it is. I'm 41. I'm going to be 41, so don't feel bad if you the minute you turn 40,
I'm just
right?
curious now. If he looks 35, how old do I look?
You look 37.
Whoa! I am 37.
Darn! Well, don't feel bad
grades.
because I'm older than you, so at least, you know.
You look older than Kevin.
Yeah.
I stopped coloring it in, man. I'm just letting the grades
she's
be.
1 year older than me if you do the math.
40. I'll be 41 this May, so don't feel bad. But,
Because
you
in
know.
'84 you were 10. I can
Yes.
do the math. It's fine.
That's fast math, dude.
He's good
You're
like
in
that.
the
You're
wrong
good.
business,
You're
bro.
good.
He's right on point.
That's fast
Oh,
math.
because in '85 I was. Well, we don't have to do that.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Okay. But age is just a number, guys. It means nothing to all of us, right? Come on, after 20 years, the Backstreet Boys is still strong, and you guys are closer than ever. I thought you guys, like you said, your relationship among the five guys were really, really awesome. And I didn't know that you guys were really big in Europe prior to getting big into the US. Europe and Canada. Why Europe first? That was something in.
It's a place that
Yeah,
accepted
we
us.
released We've Got It Going On, our very first single, and it took off in Germany.
Oh, so Germany was first?
Specifically Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. They call that the GAS territories for
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
We
geog-
released it actually first in America, but unfortunately the climate just wasn't right for a group like us.
Yeah.
At the time, it was more of Nirvana, the rock, and also rap was really, you know, at the time.
It was it was Nirvana. It was Snoop Dogg.
So our management, along with the record company, said, why don't we go over to Europe? Right now there's this movement over there where there's boy
the music
bands.
just took off.
And
Yeah.
the music, once we got there, took off for us, yeah.
Well, before we got there, the single was a huge hit.
Right. Yeah,
And
it's
we
true.
showed up and they were
Exactly.
nuts. when
What
they
year
saw
was
us.
that?
1995.
95. Exactly 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And then how long did it take for the Backstreet Boys to get really noticed and big in the U.S.?
97.
97. Yeah.
It was through Canada.
So just 2 years
Canada
later.
finally
We
crossed over the border.
sold 14 million
Millions,
albums
yeah.
before
we ever broke in
we
the
ever
US.
you know, before anybody ever knew us in America.
Where are those money?
So
We're still looking for it.
Did you guys invest in the Wall Street or something?
Somewhere, yeah. It's all in
Apple.
Apple?
yeah.
Yeah, you got
It's all in low yield bonds right now.
It's very safe there, guys.
It's an island in the Caribbean.
So now, what was the best part of making this film, this documentary?
You know, getting to know each other from a deeper standpoint, you know, a deeper level. There are some, I mean, we knew one another and our families, and we spent a lot of time together. But when we decided to actually go to our homes and visit our hometowns and our schools and our families and see where we came from, how that influenced us, I think that changed our perspective of one another, you know, completely, and gave us a new appreciation for one another. You know, it's kind of
also inspired us for the next out for that album.
Yeah, yeah, it totally did. So, you know, I mean, anything else?
no, that sounds great.
After 20 years, you must have a lot of things to share.
We have a lot, but obviously we can't fit everything in 90 minutes. So
No.
lots of different edits. The first edit was like 3 hours long. So, you know, there's a couple things that aren't in the film, but obviously we had to make it 90 minutes. So we did the best we could to tell the story that we needed to tell, and I think we achieved that. And I think even our most diehard fans are going to learn stuff about us that they don't even know, which is really cool.
Which part of the 3 hours long didn't make it into the 90 minutes film that you can share with us?
Things that didn't.
There were pieces,
Just like pieces of
each
history.
of our hometown trips.
My whole solo career.
Each of our hometown trips.
The birth of my child.
Kevin, please.
Each of our hometown trips had to be trimmed down a little bit because, yeah, we each shared a lot in our hometowns, and you know we had to trim each of our hometown trips down. Then we had to trim our overall story down. Then we had to trim the overall making of the album down. Just everything had to be trimmed down a little bit, but still make something that was interesting and compelling, and yeah.
Another interesting aspect you guys mentioned in the film was your manager at that time. And he's now, I guess, he's in prison because he was, at the end, you felt betrayed by this man who you guys trusted him like a father and a mentor. None of you guys suspect anything from the guy at that time? Like,
no, not at the time. He's actually in prison not for anything
not for
that happened with us, but for a Ponzi scheme that he created. But at the time, initially, no. I mean, we trusted him like a mentor, like a family member. We were a family. We all called him Big Papa. I mean, we had some of our best times. Just great memories we have with him. We're very grateful to him. At the same time, there's some deep down, there's some conflict there because, you know, there was some betrayal there. There was, you know, when somebody lets you down that you look up to, that you consider a mentor, that you want to learn from, and that, you know, it hurts. So we're grateful, but at the same time, there's some deep stuff that
conflicted. Yeah, completely.
Yeah, because we gave him a chance to make it right with us financially, even after we found out.
And he didn't.
And he didn't, and then so we had to go the legal route and go to court and file a lawsuit. And we grew up really quickly, and we learned a lot. My whole view of the music industry changed right then and there in an instant, because it went from, oh, you have a dream, you sing and you work hard, and if you make good music, you have success. And you know, and it was like a veil was lifted. That there, not everyone, but there are ruthless business people out there, and not everyone, but we came through it stronger. It made us all grow up quick at that moment. It was stressful for us. We had to huddle together and lean on one another. You know, there was, when all that happened, Brian led the charge to file the lawsuit, and some of us were like, dude, what are you doing? This could all end tomorrow. We need to think this through. And it was the right move, you know? But at the time, you couldn't see that, you know. So it was a big moment in all of our lives, and we learned a lot from it, and we persevered, and we came through it.
We were being taken advantage of, and you know, nobody was looking out for us.
Nothing was the same after that meeting for any of us.
We filed the lawsuit, and that was the beginning of the end of our relationship with Lou.
In 2007, Lou was arrested for running a big investment scheme, one of the biggest Ponzi schemes in American history.
And to find out he's been a con man this whole time makes you think, was anything ever true? Anything you ever said to us or did for us was it all really true, or was it half and half, or was it all bullshit?
This is where Lou lived when he went to prison. When the bank possessed the property, they sold everything in here probably to pay back. I mean, $300 million, I think he owed, he stole or was missing. So I'm sure they tried to sell and scrape up anything they could.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, this is where the old bastard lived right before he went to prison.
Now he's in a, what, 4x6 or whatever they have.
Xin quý vị khán thính giả vẫn tiếp tục giữ màn hình SBTN. Chúng tôi sẽ trở lại trong giây lát. Kính thưa quý vị, Backstreet Boys Show Them What You Made Of là một cuộc hành trình tạo sự kinh ngạc và xứng đáng của hơn 2 năm đi sâu vào cái sự cực kỳ của tiền tài, danh vọng, phản bội và đổi mới. Bộ phim tài liệu này đi theo những thành viên khi mà họ chia sẻ cuộc sống với khán giả và hồi tưởng lại những căng thẳng mới và cũ vốn cần phải đối mặt và giải quyết. Chúng tôi xin được gửi đến quý vị cuộc phỏng vấn của chúng tôi với các thành viên trong ban nhạc đó là The Backstreet Boys sau đây.
From 1999 to about 2002, we're the biggest band in the world. Nobody thought it was going to be as big as it was.
The best-selling boy band in history.
Then it just stopped.
What do you do when you're a full-grown man in a boy band?
I had this idea to go to London, just the 5 of us, and to record an album. No families, no girlfriends, just us.
Last night I went onto Facebook and asked some of the fans and asked them what would they like to ask the Backstreet Boys. And one of the questions, can I read out to you guys and maybe you can answer for your fans out there? What do you guys think of One Direction and other boy bands of today? You go first, Nick.
It's interesting. I mean, I don't really feel it's anybody's place to judge anyone, especially, you know, they're in a particular time and there's a new generation of people who are loving their music, you know, and I feel that that's great for them. And as long as they're being, you know, honest with themselves and being performers and then nurturing their talent and growing it, you know, then I respect and appreciate it. And I was listening to the radio the other day and I heard one of their songs and I was like, man, I really like this song. It was that new song that's out? What was it called? Ballad? No, Sing the Girls or something, World, whatever. I can't remember the song, but it was a good song. And I'm like, well, you know, that's good. So
Everybody wanna steal my girl.
Yeah, that song, that Steal My Girl. I thought it was a really great song. And I was like, that's cool. You know, it kind of reminds me and a little bit of ourselves, like when people were giving us great songs to sing as well.
Well, you guys have great songs. So
no, we do, but you know, it's a lot harder to get those. We're a vocal harmony group first and foremost. You know, we want to sing on great material. So you know, when you get a little bit older, you know, it's the A-listers, the producers. It's just a whole other thing. Maybe another documentary.
Right. We'll talk about that next one, Kevin.
Another story.
I think they got some great songs. I think that some of their voices have a lot of character. And like Nick said, they remind me
of us
Back then.
at times. And yet they don't, because they're different. They don't, I don't think they were inspired by doo-wop and vocal harmony groups and R&B music. They're more straight up contemporary pop, pop music. They don't have any kind of dance element or vibe in their music. It's just songs. But they've got some great songs, and they're talented young men, and I wish them the best.
You?
I think probably my niece thinks more about them than I do. I don't really think too much. But you know, they're very talented guys. And I think, you know, like Kevin and Nick have both said, they've got some great songs. Actually, some of the songs came from some of the same producers that we worked with in the early days. So it's the sound is to a point kind of a little bit reminiscent of some of the earlier stuff. I actually had a chance to go see them in concert not too long ago. I took my niece to the concert and went backstage and filled her dream by allowing her to meet her boy band of her life. And they're a bunch of great guys. I mean, like I say, Brian's even kept in touch with Niall. And I actually saw their show. To me, you know, I think I was trying to see what the similarities were in the shows and the style of performances they did. And the only thing I could really see was that they're good showmen and that they sing. But we're just two different styles of groups. A lot of times people want to put us in the same category, and I guess it's because of the fact that, you know, at one point we were 5 young guys as well. But that's about it to me, the similarities, because when you see them up on stage, we do a totally different type of show than they do. You know, I think we came more from the bands that we looked up to that were more of like the entertainers, the Michael Jacksons, like the Madonnas, and people that put on the big shows with more of like dancing and just, you know, a really entertaining show. And not to say that the show wasn't entertaining at all to me, because I was very entertained. It's just different, so it's hard to, you know, compare, you know, ourselves in any way, or even to a point give them advice, because they're on their own path and they're doing their own thing.
Brian?
For me, I mean, they're 5 talented solo artists that make up a group. That's one big major similarity that I find between them and what we've done for the past 22 years. We're kind of like 5 solo artists that, you know, are together that make great music. There's a certain dynamic, a sound that we've created over the years that I don't think anybody will ever duplicate. It's a one-of-a-kind, special harmony mixture that makes us different. But at the same time, they're enjoying a huge wave of a new music movement and a new generation. And again, they're amazingly talented. They have great songs. I have to go off of what, you know, Kevin said. They have amazing songs. I sing it on the radio when I hear it. I just wish they'd play us on the radio.
I like them. Yeah, I like them. I've been a fan of their music. I think they're equally talented within their, you know, group. But you know, they're on their own path. They're on their own journey. And I personally feel like there is only one direction, and there is only one Backstreet Boys. And you know, I think it's really cool that they do some of our songs in their live performance. They did I Want It That Way quite a few times, which is actually really cool. You know, kind of paying homage to us, I guess. And that's really sweet and really flattering, you know? So, but, yeah, right? But again, I think they're really, really talented, and I think that they're going to be around for quite some time. Hopefully they can be around as long as we have.
Thank you, gentlemen, for answering your fans' question. I'm sure they're going to be so happy.
Well, thank you.
And good luck to everything, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking to us.
$300 million he stole or was missing.
We've seen the best and the worst of each other.
I'm not afraid of you anymore.
20 years is a long time for anybody, let alone a 5 bunch of dorks jumping around on stage, singing and dancing.
Dạ vâng, thưa quý vị, đó là cuộc phỏng vấn rất là đặc biệt của Tô Uyen ngồi xuống phỏng vấn các thành viên trong ban nhạc Backstreet Boys, Nick, Kevin, Howie, Brian and AJ. Và cái tuần đầu tiên khi cuốn phim này được phát hành ở khắp mọi nơi thì những cái vé mà gọi là bán đó, những cái tickets là sold out luôn. So chúng ta cũng biết rằng là các người ca sĩ trẻ này vẫn còn nhiều fans, cả hàng triệu fans ái mộ mà họ không có thể nào mà không bỏ được. Bác sĩ đến đây chúng tôi xin trân trọng kính chào tạm biệt tất cả quý vị và cảm ơn quý vị rất là nhiều đã theo dõi chương trình ngày hôm nay và xin hẹn gặp lại quý vị vào chương trình kỳ tới.